Alright, hi, this is Olaf. Um, Today is the first online video for electronic music production 2. So I have to get a little bit used to it, especially the first 10 minutes probably, because it feels a bit weird. First of all, I only hear audio on my left headphone speaker. Second, I just switched off my laundry machine, which is behind me. So you don't hear the laundry going around. And I just heard the dishes of my neighbors downstairs. So I hope, that's all these different aspects that are part of it, of the experience. But I also just realized that when I sneeze, it's no problem for you because I'm here and you're not here. Alright, let's get started. Today we're going to deal with two things. The first one is layering, creative layering. I use layering, the technique of layering, a lot in my productions. So I want you to get some experience with that, and I will show you a little bit of a procedure that you can follow. And second, we're going to talk about development, so how you develop stuff. Of course, we're working a lot with loops in Ableton. It's pretty loop based. There it is, all these loops. But I want to move from a loop to a development, and I will. Today we're going to practice with that in the assignment. One more thing: if you don't have Ableton at home, you can download the Ableton Trial, which is free. And normally it only works for 1 month, but they have extended it so that it works now for 3 months. That's because of the Corona crisis. And if you have already used the trial version, that's no problem. You just need to send them an email and then include Crea in the CC. So planning@crea.nl, planning@crea.nl. Put them in the CC and then it should be fine. They're very helpful. That's it. Let's get started. So today we're going to follow a few steps. I will show it first, and then there's assignments, and I want you to do it for yourself in your own time, whenever you want to do it. If you have any questions, you can post them below this video that I will upload. And then during our course hours, I will be online with my phone, because my internet is still down, to answer your questions. Yeah? That's it. So let's get into it. I will just go through a couple of steps and then hopefully it will become clear for you. The first step that we're going to do is let me see. So we're going to use the analog. So quickly click a quick recap of the analog for you, because we're going to work with it today. We talked about it earlier in the course, but let's do it one more time. So here you have the oscillator. This is like your vocal cords. So if I play, you can set the wave shape. Oh, we hear both oscillators now. I switch this one off, so now we hear one oscillator. This gives you already a timbre, and this of course is the noise. There's no pitch. So this is your vocal cords, and then your vocal cords go into your mouth and your nose, where you, like this now, can shape the timbre even further, and that's called filtering. Here you can choose between low pass filters, band pass filters, high pass filters, and notches. I don't use that one a lot in a synth, and the formants. I never use it, but maybe it's even nice. Alright, so just let's use a low pass filter to make the sound more dull, right? And then after that, let's add another one and detune it a little bit to give it this analog sound. And then here, if you click, you can set the volume envelope. This decides how volume changes over time when you are holding the keys of your keyboard, or when a tone is playing for a longer time. So then it will get louder and then stays at a stable phase, and here you release it and then it fades out. So that's all shown graphically here. Here you release the tone and it fades out, here it fades in. So if you only draw a short note now, you won't hear it, because the tone, or here it's very soft, because the tone doesn't have enough time to start up. You know, it needs time, and if your note is already stopping here, then you don't hear this. So if you make it short, there it is. So if you wanna hear these long developments, then you have to draw a long note. Yeah, okay. Alright, stop this. So this is a long, and if I make this longer, it's the release, you see it's changing there. Then if you let go of the keys, and I do now a quick hit, let go, it will go on and on and on. Yeah? So oscillator goes to filter 1, which is mentioned here. You could also send it to filter 2, then it would go there, but this one is switched off now. And filter 1 goes 100% to filter 2, but that's switched off, so whatever. It also goes on to the amplifier there. If you would want to hear this routing or this to filter 2, you would have to switch this on and this one on. And they're the same as these ones. So that's if you want to do parallel sound shaping. Yeah? One more thing that could be nice maybe to explain now, because we have the time, because, well, I'm not going to make this bad joke, is this LFO. It's an oscillator like this, but its frequency is low. That's why it's called a low frequency oscillator. So you see, 1 Hertz means it's moving up and down 1 time per second. So it's very slow. It can even be a half Hertz. Then it will take 2 seconds to go up and down. You cannot hear it because our ear can only hear stuff about 30 or 40 Hertz. So this is way below that. But what you can do with this thing is, if you switch it on, you can assign it to one of those knobs. For example, to this frequency. Look, frequency, there it is. And then you see here LFO, like that. So if you would open this up, then the LFO starts to shake this thing slowly 1 time per second. Yeah? So let's, for example, let's modulate the pitch of the oscillator. So the pitch can be influenced by this thingy. Let's open it up. Yeah? Or even more extreme. And you can, it's going 1 time per 2 seconds, but you can speed it up here. Yeah. If you're a lover of EDM, you might want to use it. Okay, so that's another interesting thing. That was a quick recap of the analog. We're going to use it today. So first part of the assignment for you, when you've seen this video, or you pause it now and then you go and do it, that's the advantage, is that you put an analog on your MIDI channel. And at this moment, it's not about the notes that you draw, so you can just hit it with your keyboard. So I'm now pressing the A on my keyboard. And what I want you to do is I want you to program 4 interesting analog sounds, each sound on its own track. And I will just do it, and then I hope it will be clear. And I want you to think about contrasting sounds. So for example, what could be contrast? Loud or soft. So very loud sound or very soft sound. Dull or bright. Yeah. Tonal or noisy. Yeah. Okay, so or long or short, you know, long, right, or short. So let's start. I will do 4 I will just make them up now to show you and to work with it. So I want to do this noisy thingy, and I want to use the filter with the resonance to give it a little bit of a tonal edge. Yeah, but now it's very tonal. I make it a little bit less. Okay, so let's try the other filter. Yeah, I think here you have them both. You hear the noise and you hear the filter. So that's I call it, what's a good name? It reminds me of Pac-Man. I don't know why. That's sound one. Now we go to the next sounds. I don't draw any notes. Take the analog again. Is it there? Where are we? Okay. So, and now I'm actually going to copy this analog to the first track. So it's the same, but then I will make it low. How are we going to do this? Maybe tweak it a bit. I like it. We could also make this half, so it would sound nice next to that one. I just want to check it. So 750 divided by 2. I could use this one, but I think I can even do it. Oof. Maybe half of that again. Now I don't know anymore. 375, 187, 187. Yeah, okay. So this is low Pac-Man. Low Pac-Man. We've got two. Now let's get a third one. So these are a bit noisy, a bit old school. So let's do a very contemporary, more contemporary sounds. Yeah, let's keep it really digital, but make it short. Don't like that. Let's see. That's nice. And maybe use the LFO to change the volume. Let's see. A bit more dull. Don't know. Doesn't sound bad. So we've got two noisy ones, and now I think what would be a nice addition is to just have some real noise stuff, just noise. Maybe a bit more dull. Let's see. By the way, these low pass filters have some numbers behind them. And it means how sharp the roll off is. So you're filtering above a certain frequency, now above 17,000 Hertz. You can do it really steep, so chop off the sounds above really steep, that's 24, or less steep is 12. Okay, let me think. What I want is sorry. Okay. I'm not really inspired by this, so maybe LFO sync it to the beat. So now it's synced to this, and let's do it quick. And again, do the volume. Maybe change the waveform to okay. Let me think. Okay, that's it. Funny. Okay, that's step 1. Yeah, so that's the first thing that I want you to do. Make 4 different sounds with contrast. You decide how long, short, bright, not bright, high pass, low pass, noise, one oscillator this, one oscillator that, whatever you feel. And put 4, so put them all on different tracks. It's not about the notes. Yeah, that's step 1. Okay, now step 2. Well, this is bright. Step 2, we're going to make a beat. And how do we do it? Whatever, you can do it however you want to do it. I will use the impulse, and we are going to use kick, snare, clap, hi-hat, tom, whatever we want. So let's do this. Let me think. And there we go. Take some, or a really old school kick. So I'm just doing this now according to my own taste. Wow, they're both really cool actually. So I use 2 kicks, don't know how yet. Toendunk. Maybe like this. So for your ears, sorry. Okay, that's the kick. Maybe this one a bit lower. Yeah, a bit shorter. And I want to try this out. Sorry, I cannot help with this. So this is up to you how you want to do it. I just want to give you the example for the next step. So that's, I cannot help to do a bit more. Where are we? Drums. Oh, it's always so annoying. Up, samples. Anyways. Record it. One. So these are the kicks, right? Give it a name, kick. still in step 2, making the beats, by the way. Insert MIDI, give me an impulse, please. And now I want to have like a weird clap thing. Maybe put a redux on there before it's. Where are we? Claps. So this way, this effect will be on one chain, but you can put a parallel chain here, right mouse, which is the normal sound. So this is the effect, and this is the normal. Yeah. Oof, nice. Okay. Okay, and I want you to do 4 of those, so also tom or percussion or whatever you want, with 4 different sounds. That's step 2, right? Now we go to step 3, and you can pause the video, of course, after this, do it, and then come back. If you have questions, again, post them below. So during our normal hours, I will be online and I will be replying to them. Yeah, so if you want to have real-time feedback, then do it while it is our normal course hours, and I will reply as comments under this video. I love the sound. I like it. Getting a bit sidetracked here, but now we go to the next step, because you made this before and now we have this. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy the pattern to one of those sounds. So for example, the clap, we'll put it and just try it out. Just the volume a bit. This one. Right here. Yeah, that's better. Try this one. Oof. So this is up to you. You just make a choice which sounds you want to layer, because this is what we're doing now. I'm layering now the clap because it's playing at the same time with this sound. And you decide. I want to hear this one with that one. Just check it out. So, duplicado, put it here. Oof, nice. Wow. Maybe improve it a little bit. What I notice, if I put a reverb on it, it separates from the original one, and that's not what we want here, because now this is in the back and this is in the front. It sounds like 2 sounds. But I want it to be 1, so let's take this off. Yeah. So that's the third step of today, which you can do now or later. So it's about layering these sounds with one of those. Or if you want to use this one for 2 sounds, then you just copy the whole track and you put one of there and the other one next door. That's all fine. Let's maybe do one more. Let's do this. You can adjust the volume, huh? This is really nice. I think this with this one. Let's listen. A bit softer, a bit more. Okay, there we are. Put this back again. So what we have now is our drums that are layered. Yeah? So that's the next step that you can do now. And now we can move on. So you can just follow the video or just do a pause and then do this step and then move on. The next step is a bit more difficult. What I want you to do, and for it I'm going to save this live set. And developments. Okay, because I might fuck it up. What I want you to do is to find some parameters in your sounds that are cool to change. So, for example, this one. Let me listen. The sustain could be. What I'm looking for is parameters that change the sound but don't change the character, because you want it to be the same sound, but you can want to change that sound while keeping the same character. I also want to hear the release. Now it's 2.5 seconds. Let's make it very short. Can you see? Big difference. So if you found them, let's then group this. So you go here, right mouse or control click, group, and then you assign it to knob. So this one, just assign the interesting ones. So this is sustain, and that's annoying. It changes it switches the value to 0 then when you automate it, when you map it. So remember what it is, 2 seconds, and then put this to 2 seconds again. And this is, let's give it a name. Where are we? Release. Okay. Can we do more? We could bring in this, for example, and then map this. So kind of nice. Okay. So that I want you to do for every sound. So I can do one more. This is kind of the same story, right? This one is hooked up with the clap. Let's listen together. Maybe do this one. So first group it, and then 750. So 750, and that's the frequency. Then again the sustain, and maybe that's it for now. Yeah, okay. Funny. Okay, that's so you do it for every sound. So every sound now gets like an interesting interface. Yeah. So that's the next step that I want you to do. So you can do that now or later. And now we're already getting to the development part, which goes like this. And this is just a practice. It's a kind of a rational approach to it. But by doing it rationally, I just want you to get a feeling for it, because now you see how it works and what it does. And then when you know how it works, you can also get a feeling for it. So just follow the next step rationally. So what we're going to do is, you have a bit more sounds than me probably. We're going to record it to this screen, and I just want to check the tempo if I like it quicker. Yeah, I like this. So records. And I want you to record or 4 bars or 8 bars or 16 bars. I do 8. So select everything, up, make it 8. So that's it. So when I want to hear this, that's working. Okay. And the next thing is that we're going to project developments on these. So what can they be? I will draw it to you. If you take the volume here, then you can have the following development in 8 bars. This one. So you have a value that goes up. So it can be, this can lead to a rising energy in your music at that moment. This can be in 8 bars, can be in 16 bars, whatever you want. It can be quick. It can be this. How can I do this quickly? Twice. So if you do 8 bars, you can also do this development. Right? Boom, boom. So this is up to you. So I will draw a few this one is of course the logical opponent of that one. That's one. Another one is, for example, this. Whoop, 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 whoop. Right, that's one. Well, just make up a development that you like. Yeah. All right. I'll do a crazy one maybe. I don't know if I can do that quickly. Just a random thingy. And then maybe some. So this is just scales. And so on and so on. That's the next step. Yeah. So when you made up that's the next step, so please do that. Make up, I don't know, 4 or 5 shapes. So this is my first shape, second shape, third shape, fourth shape. And do it, use the length you have here. So now the next step after this is, you're going to assign randomly, actually, without thinking too much, those shapes to the knobs. Yeah. If I press plus, it will be opening up below your track, and I can just paste. No, fuck. I don't know if I can paste it. If not, then I just draw it. So this was one shape, and this one I will use the staircase. Show automation plus. Oh no. First step, we only do one per sound, so that's enough already. So this one's going up. I go to this one in the next sound, so in the next analog, and there I will do the staircase. And you do it for every synth. I don't know if I had more. Oh, I did this one, I didn't prepare. Yeah, so that's step one. Let's listen. Alright. Maybe I can also make one for this. Let's just take the frequency and let's take a riser. And let's take this one. Yeah, that's also a nice one. Next step is you copy this. Oh, you copy the whole thing, and now I want you to do a different development to this one. So, for example, this one goes then down. This one becomes a riser. I don't know, maybe like that. So you draw a different shape now on it. Like that. And what you maybe hear is that you might get some surprising things actually. And you might get a feeling for development. I hope. You hear? So this becomes an interesting thing, and why are we doing this? Actually, first to do more sound design, and second is to break out of that loop. So to get stuff that is more engaging for a longer time, and that's I think what you're already hearing this part. This part's nice. Yeah. Okay. Now we have that. Now we go to the last step. If you found a piece that is nice, what you then do is you copy it. And now we're going to build a little bit more of an arrangement. So you're going to copy it, maybe copy it twice. And now what you're going to do is you're going to, for every sound, you're going to add a second automation layer. So here I already drew this one. It's here. But this one is still not there. So, for example, I could do this. Hope it works. And then we go to this one. The sustain. It's closed. So maybe slowly rise it. This one. Everything's already there. I'll keep that. Now let's listen. Yeah. So that's it for today actually. So I want you to follow these steps. So today is about layering, and what you hopefully will find out is that you can really make interesting drum sounds in this way that are really more personalized. Second, you can develop these drum sounds so they change over time in this way. And third, we're now dealing with developments. I will play this one more time after this, and of course it's not perfect because it's pretty random how I assign this, but that's not bad. But I hope that you already feel that how this loop now starts to work over time. So let's listen one more time. That could already be the one part. So you could repeat this a couple of times. And after this, of course, you can start to add more things to build a part of an arrangement already. Yeah, so that's it for today.